I'm Dutch, and let's react to the Americans. Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Johan, and I'm a typical Dutchman. And if you're planning to come over to Europe for your holidays, or maybe to live here permanently, or you're wondering what are the differences in life and living in the United States versus life and living in Europe, then you are at the right place, because in this channel I take a look at and react to videos about life and living in America versus life and living in Europe, or specifically the Netherlands. And for today, we're going to take a look at a video of TRDR News EU. I've seen several videos of him before, but this one is about the Netherlands crazy election explained. So, crazy election. Well, there was a lot of stuff going on. So, I wonder what this is and how they're going to explain the Dutch crazy elections. Oh, well, just want to know. I know what happens. I've been there, done that, voted. So let's take a look.
To the ballot box less than 2 years after the previous election in 2023. This was sparked by the collapse of its right-wing government in June, when the hard-right Party for Freedom, or PVV, by the collapse of its right-wing government in
those four conservative, agrarian, the BBB, the Party for aggregation, agrarians, the Farmers Party, hard right, and then those two center right,
June, when the hard-right Party for Freedom, or PVV, quit the ruling coalition following a row over migration policy. In an unexpected twist though, on Thursday morning, with 98% of the votes counted, the results showed the centrist Democrat 66 surging to finish neck and neck with the PVV, which lost a third of their seats, while the centre-right New Social Contract, or NSC, which was previously a member of the governing coalition, lost every single one of its 20 seats.
They went down to minus 20 to 0. They don't have a seat at all in the current government. So they went down 20 seats. That's amazing.
So in this video, we'll explain the political background, the recent Dutch election results, and what the country's next government might look like.
Okay.
Never miss an episode and always feel in the loop by subscribing and ringing the bell. First though, let's explain the political context. Back in November 2023, the Netherlands general election was won by Geert Wilders' PVV, an anti-immigration party usually described by the press as far-right, which upset the status quo of Dutch politics.
Far-right. Yeah. Far-right as in far-right. It's some parties call it extreme far right, as in by
becoming the largest party in parliament for the first time. However, the two next biggest right-wing parties, the centre-right People's Party, or VVD, and the New Social Contract, or NSC, ruled out joining a cabinet led by Wilders, both because of his harsh migration policies and anti-Islam stance, and because they weren't confident that they could work with him in government anyway. So in order to get coalition talks back on track, Wilders reluctantly agreed not to be Prime Minister, and to instead move forward with a PVV minority government with an extra parliamentary cabinet, i.e. a cabinet made up of individuals from both within and outside of politics, with none of the coalition party leaders taking up ministerial posts. Then in May 2024, four right-leaning parties, the hard-right PVV...
everyone look at this, like, if you're looking from outside the Netherlands and you're looking at it here, what the heck? I understand. What? There's a minority government, and we've got a cabinet with no leaders. Well, I think that needs some explanation because of the NSC. The main man, Pieter Omtzigt, was convinced and still is convinced that to have a good cabinet, you need people who actually know what they're talking about. So not some politician, but if you want to have the post of foreign affairs, you should have been several years an ambassador. And if you want to have the post as for finances, you have to be an economist, at least with some decade experience, etc. So it was the wish of Peter Omtzigt of the NSC to have a cabinet that is not formed with only politicians, but with real experts in their field. That's what happened here, and yeah. And this means also that there was no prime minister from one of the parties, but a prime minister from outside the parliament brought in to be the prime minister. Yeah, that's what happened over here.
Then in May 2024, 4 right-leaning parties, the hard-right PVV, centre-right VVD and NSC, which dropped their opposition after Wilders' compromise, and the Conservative Agrarian Farmer Citizen Movement, or BBB, struck a deal and published their coalition agreement, forming what was generally seen to be the most right-wing government in modern Dutch history. In July 2024, the new cabinet was officially sworn in, with Dick Schoof, a career civil servant and political outsider, appointed as Prime Minister. However, the coalition soon ran into disagreements over the budget and immigration, and collapsed
mainly over immigration,
after less than a year this June, when Wilders' PVV quit following a row over migration policy, a move which Prime Minister Schoof called irresponsible and unnecessary. As such, a fresh election was called for October, and in the meantime, another party, the NSC, also quit the coalition after the other parties failed to adopt harsher measures against Israel following a UN-backed report which confirmed widespread famine in Gaza. Ahead of the elections, the final Ipsos INO polls showed the PVV in the lead, the left-wing Green Left Labour Alliance in second, and 2 liberal centre parties, the Democrat 66 and Christian Democratic Appeal, or CDA, close together in third and fourth. Meanwhile, it suggested notable drops in support for all 3 of the other outgoing coalition parties, the VVD, NSC and BBB, which have seemingly been hurt by their affiliation with the PVV in government.
Yeah, you really get what, especially NSC. It was not in their favor that they went along with the PVV.
However, the actual results were pretty surprising. By Thursday morning, the results showed a shock surge for the centrist D66, with 26 seats. Wilders' PVV also on 26 seats, the centre-right VVD in third with 22 seats, the Green Left Labour Alliance in fourth with 20 seats, and the centre-right CDA in fifth with 18. Meanwhile, the other 2 outgoing coalition parties suffered heavy losses, with the BBB going from 7 seats to 4 and the NSC losing all of its 20 seats. Essentially, these preliminary results suggest that the PVV's short stint in government damaged both the PVV and its right-wing coalition partners. During its time in power, the outgoing PVV coalition rapidly lost support and was seen by voters as one of the most ineffective in recent Dutch history. An Ipsos INO survey published in September found that just 29% of Dutch voters, the lowest figure since 2022, had
Wait. What do the colors mean? It's going up and down.
confidence in national politics.
Nice, but it looks like a fishtail. What is its mean? I cannot explain if I don't see any explanation what the red and the green line explain. Voters' confidence. Yeah, if I say the no's went up, and the ones who are, if the green is the one who's positive, then they went down, and the ones that's getting higher for the people who don't have confidence in the politics, and that's what's happening right now. Then I can explain, these red and green.
And what's more, among those who voted for the PVV in 2023, only 14% still had confidence, a huge drop from 50% a year ago. This suggests a perception that the outgoing coalition failed to deliver on its key promises, namely introducing Europe's most hardline immigration policy and tackling a dire housing shortage. Given that pre-election surveys found
Yeah, I've talked about it many times in this channel that there is a housing shortage. There's a housing problem in Europe and, of course, also in the
housing,
Netherlands.
healthcare, and immigration to be the top issues for voters in 2025, with nearly two-thirds wanting solutions on affordable housing, older voters caring most about healthcare, and right-wing voters caring most about immigration. It looks like the coalition has been punished for disappointing voters. The other notable takeaway, though, was the surge of moderate parties on both the right and left. The centrist D66 recorded its best results since it was founded in 1966, with G66 politician Jan Paternotte praising the party's leader for
Who? What was his name? Rob Jette. Oh.
1966, with G66 politician Jan Paternotte praising the party's leader for fighting what he called a fantastic campaign, adding he told a positive story and left all of the negativity of the past 2 years behind him. For context, the D66 is a socially liberal centrist party with strong support among civil servants and university graduates, and ran an optimistic campaign pledging to build 10 new cities to tackle the housing crisis. Another centrist party that did well was the
10 new cities in a lake. So that's I don't think that's the plan is, not to dry up a lake, but to have some space and cover it and make some new cities, 10 new cities.
centre-right CDA, who surged to win 18 seats, up from just 5 previously. This was largely down to the popularity of their leader, Henry Bontebal, who was regarded as the Netherlands' most popular party leader in the run-up to the election, and the most suitable candidate to be Prime Minister.
But he made some mistakes in talking about gay and no gay schools and no homo and some homophobic interactions that cost him a lot of votes.
However, the CDA still slightly underperformed some recent polling estimates, which predicted it to win up to 24 seats. And that drop-off was possibly due to backlash over comments made by Bontebal and then retracted earlier this month, implying that he supported religious schools' rights to reject gay students.
Yeah. Okay. He mentioned it what I said already. Yeah, that was a huge mistake.
Anyway, with these results, what might the next Dutch coalition actually look like? Well, even if the PVV scrapes a victory over D66 in terms of votes, it will almost certainly be kept out of government this time round. And Wilders has even admitted that he has little hopes of forming a government, even if they do try.
Yeah, with 27 seats, no, nobody wants to work together with this extreme right party.
This is because both the Green Left Labour Alliance and CDA have pledged to block the PVV from any future coalition. As such, a centrist grand coalition comprising of the D66, Green Left Labour and CDA looks likely as a minority government, or if the VVD is included, as a majority government. While the VVD has previously ruled out entering into a government with the left, this position could well change during coalition talks. If this were to happen, 38-year-old D66 leader Rob Jetten would likely lead the administration and could become the Netherlands' first openly gay prime minister. Ultimately, the strong performance of moderate parties overall suggests that the Dutch electorate would rather have stability and experience in government this time round. If you're interested in learning more about this topic, then
Yeah. Oh, yes, we had a lot of discussion over this.
plenty of other outlets
internally.
report
I will not bore you about what all happened inside the politics of the Netherlands during campaigning.
on it online. But what about everything you don't see? Or what about the sources you've grown to trust that are purposefully leaving out information? Thankfully,
We got a sponsor coming up. Yeah.
our sponsor this week, Ground News, are experts at lifting the veil on media bias. That's because Ground News is a website and app that gathers thousands of articles from across the world, expertly merging all different sides of political bias into one place, making it simple to see multiple perspectives on the same event. In addition, every single story comes with a detailed view of the bias distribution, factuality scores, and even specific ownership information. For example, if we take this story on the 27 parties standing in the
Voters in Dutch general election have 27 parties and 1,166 candidates to choose from. Yeah, our voter bill was like a newspaper. It was almost a meter wide. But I did not know that we had 27 parties. I was talking about 14, 15, no, 17 or 18, but not 27.
the Dutch election, you can see that 33 sources are reporting on it, and it's all featured here in one place. In fact, if we delve a bit deeper, we can even see that most of the coverage is coming from the centre. While it would normally be overwhelming to sift through thousands of articles to find out how they're being reported differently by either side, Ground News offers a handy bias comparison feature, where you can do this with a click of a button. For instance, if we go back to the story on the 27 parties in the Dutch election, we can learn that the left and centre emphasise the abundance of options, while the right de-emphasises the number of choices. But that's not all. For stories that have been disproportionately covered by one side of the political spectrum or the other, their aptly named blind spot feed puts all of those into one place to help you stay grounded and informed. So if you want to begin questioning the narrative, instead of just consuming it, you can get started today as we're partnering with Ground News to offer you 40% off their unlimited access Vantage plan. Just subscribe through the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen, and you'll be supporting an independent news platform working to make the media landscape more transparent.
Bespaar op je...
Oh, it was a short video. Okay, well, I hoped you learned something and that I could explain something. I had hoped for a better explanation that I could add to, but it was only about the election and not as much as the election results and coming up to a new government. It's yeah, okay. It is what it is. It is a reaction video, so I have to do with the stuff that I get presented to, and then I have to react to it. So, okay. That was it for today. And if you like the video, then press like. And if you want to see more of my videos, then this is a good place to start with. And otherwise, we are almost on the 500, so keep on helping us to get to the first 500 subscribers. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.